Hey 143 fam, Happy New Year. We're going to take a look at your general overview and love for the full month of January 2020. I'm also going to be choosing 2 winners this month. You'll get to decide between a free reading or a free healing session. If you would like to be considered for the giveaway, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment below your video, and I will notify winners at the very end of the month. Now let's take a look and see what 2020 has in store. Hey Gemini, we're going to take a look at your general overview first, then love for January 2020. Gemini, general overview for January 2020. You guys excited? Gemini, I already feel your energy coming in really strong, but we're going to get a few more shuffles in here. Gemini, January 2020, general overview. Ooh, for my gems. Gemini, general overview, January 2020. Okay, gems, I think the best way to put this is Gemini, for Geminis, 2020 couldn't have come soon enough. Okay, are you in alignment with that? Gemini, 2019 certainly had its share of blessings, but it was extraordinarily difficult for Geminis in particular, especially the last couple months of 2019. Okay, now Spirit's message to you is this. 1, Spirit recognizes that you've been going through a very hard time, and you've dealt with it with grace, Gemini. I feel like more Geminis than not have been able to look at difficult situations and see the silver lining. Geminis have been able to look at difficult situations and still have gratitude intact, okay? So think about how far you've come, that is your fallback despite having a very difficult couple of months. For many of you, a very difficult full year of 2019. So Spirit wants you to know, 1, that has been recognized and you will be rewarded for that. As we step into 2020, there may be some of that residual energy, but for the most part, it's done. Gemini, take a deep breath in. Out through your mouth. Gemini, it's done, okay? In 2020, this is a breakthrough year for Geminis. This is not true for every single sign right now. There will be blessings for everybody, but for you, Gemini, this is a breakthrough year. This is why 2019 had to be so difficult. If there were loose ends, they needed to be tied up. And universe forced that, okay? For those of you who are maybe missing certain lessons, Gemini forced it, made it really obvious so that you couldn't miss the lesson, so that you came into 2020 ready. So for those of you who have honored that, 2020 is a game-changing year, and this is what I'm channeling. It's 2020 and 2021, okay? So you have 2 new years ahead of you right now that will drastically change your life. I know this is intense, Gemini, but what a relief, right? To feel this energy coming into the new year after. For some of you, a really, really, really difficult last year, okay? So let's take a look. Gemini, general overview. Love this. Love this. This is the exact energy. Can you see that? Change in direction. Everything's changing up for you, Gemini, okay? It's not going to change overnight. For some of you, you're going to feel change come in very quickly. You may even feel forced to change some things, especially with career, and I'm really feeling relationships here for you, Gemini. But I do feel like if that applies to you, you'll already know that coming into the new year. You're not going to be caught off guard in January like, oh, I need a new job now, or oh, this partner isn't aligning with me, or isn't of my highest good to be with anymore. That's clarity that you were shown before the end of 2019. Partially why 2019 was so difficult. I think there was a significant amount of loss for Geminis across the board. Loss of life, loss of job, loss of romantic relationships, possibly some severed ties with friends. Okay, Gemini, this comes through as hope. This comes through as fated change. This also comes through as Gemini being rewarded. Prayers are being answered, Spirit is saying to me. Okay, so you know that there needs to be change. You've probably been forced to change some things already. Something's coming through here for you. I see for some of you, this won't apply to everybody, but it's almost like you may get a letter in the mail that's game-changing. So if somebody's waiting to see if they're going to get accepted to a university or a program, possibly if a new job would actually send you a letter of that sort, it comes through. It comes through. You get something affirming this change. You get something like a document, because I'm seeing document here, okay? I'm seeing document. I hope you can see that. I know my light's kind of bright here. Change in direction. Some of you will be receiving a document that is game-changing, okay? I think for some of you that could be a divorce settlement, finalizing a divorce, okay? Maybe finalizing a document or some sort of contract that's been in the works. But that honestly comes through more as you are about to receive something, but it's very positive. Center of the reading is fresh air. Spirit's asking you to breathe. That's why I channel that. Gemini, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. It's like you can almost sigh of relief here. You can breathe again, is what I'm getting for you, Gemini. I think you've been holding your breath. I think for some of us, for some Gemini, it was just so intense. Back to back to back to back. Gemini, you are tested, and it is okay to acknowledge it. It's okay to recognize the blessings and the gratitude, but also be like, whoa, I need to do something to relieve this stress. Whoa, I have some wounds that still need to heal for a minute. Whoa, I need a timeout. Make sure you take your time out if you need it. But for me, that's coming through as a breath of fresh air. For those of you physically moving, feels like air quality is better. There may have been something in your previous apartment or home that you either have just moved out of or will eventually move out of. It feels like something there's a little toxic. Air, water quality. Yeah, I'm seeing, I'm almost seeing like chemicals or maybe not being ventilated well, if there's some sort of renovation going on. But the bigger message, sitting again at the center of the reading with fresh air, is that sigh of relief. Gemini can breathe again. I think you're detoxing your environment. I think many of you will detox your body too, especially if there was air quality, some sort of chemical, water, maybe you ate something that didn't sit right with your body. I feel energy detox, yes, but there's something physical here. There's something physical. So if you've been thinking of doing an herbal cleanse or some sort of cleanse, now's the time. Now's the time to do it. But Spirit's also bringing me back to the end of 2019. Some of what was difficult is that people had to be purged. Situations had to be purged out of your life. I think for some of you, you're cleansing and you've been cleansing, but you need to relax. When you do any sort of a physical detox, for example, it's often encouraged that you don't work out too much, that you don't overextend yourself, because your body's cleansing and your body needs that energy to continue to take care of you so you don't get sick while you're detoxing. Sometimes you do get a little sick while detoxing because your body's releasing so much, but you're supposed to take it easy. I think Geminis had so much thrown at them, it was impossible to take anything easy. You had no time to yourself. So it's almost, again, like residual. You may be dealing with some residual effect of cleanse and detox that has been ongoing. But make sure you see that all the way through, okay? If you're feeling a little drained because of all of the change, take a time out. We have 2 cards that just flew. Let me get this for you. Oh, Gemini, how I am not surprised these just flew across the room. We have relationship and fated partner, okay? Relationship and fated new partner. This isn't just romantic for all of you. For many of you, we're talking about romantic fated partners coming in. But I want to hold these 2 up, okay? So clarifying change in direction is fate. This is the reward you're getting for having gone through such a difficult time and for honoring it gracefully, for seeing the blessings, for holding on to your gratitude, and ultimately for trusting in universe, for trusting in your process, for really going through it. You will be gifted. For some of you, if you're moving into a new home and it's really blessed. Others of you, it's a breakthrough in a relationship. See, this new partner card comes through as a breakthrough. It's a fated breakthrough. So this doesn't even have to be one specific person. It could be a team, it could be a company, but it is a breakthrough for you. But because it's a side-by-side with relationship, Gemini, I don't know. If you've been transitioning out of an old relationship, I wouldn't be surprised if something new comes in pretty quickly for you. If you feel like you've been single for quite some time, you may have this breakthrough in love. And it may not necessarily be the person who is the breakthrough, but it's shifting your energy so that you are more in alignment with love, or shifting your energy so you're more in alignment with fated opportunities in a workspace, okay? But I want to hold these up too. So center the reading. We come back to breath of fresh air, okay? Clarify by relationship. There's a relationship. There's someone showing up who is a breath of fresh air for you. I think this could also be an air sign for you, Gemini, which I think that for those of you single and for those of you who've been going through a hard time, I just think that would be so tremendously beneficial. Even if it's a new friendship, even if it's somebody coming back into the picture who is an air sign, You need that playful energy. You need somebody, possibly even another Gemini, to pull you out of whatever this was, whatever you had to let go of, anything still kind of weighing on you, holding you down, okay? But I don't know, there's something faded going on in love for you too. We're going to take a deeper look with the love spread next. That's coming through strong. I'm seeing a transition with families, maybe a family coming back together, a whole family moving, perhaps. There's something really solid here on the family front, too. Clarifying, cleanse, and detox is assertiveness. This is the lingering. This is the lingering energy. This may be lingering conversations with people who have needed to be purged out of your life, okay? Or jobs that need to be purged, or the home you're about to leave. There may be some aggression there from somebody else. That's not where you're meeting them, Gem. You're not meeting somebody else with aggression, but you are going to be assertive. You are going to stand up for yourself, but you're going to do it calmly without being reactive. That's part of the cleanse and detox for you. There's a lesson there, but you will be rewarded. Anything you come into the month dealing with still that doesn't feel so positive is still going to be purged out, okay? I really see Geminis coming full circle in the month of January with some sort of major transition. There's something big going on here for you, Gem, but it's because you're ready. The reason why the transition can come full circle now is because you're ready. So let's get you a crowning card. Crowning card for Gemini. Okay, I'm definitely picking up an air sign. I'm also picking up an air sign friends, okay? Some of you have been going through so much that maybe you've been disconnected from friends or family that feels like friends. Lean on some people right now if you can, Gemini. Not even lean on them. If you want to, you can. I do feel like, yeah, I love this. Crowning your whole reading, giving and receiving. You do a lot for your friends and for your family. It's okay to ask for that back, okay? So I think that that's a really important message. It's about balance. It's about equal give and receive. I think some of the people who have maybe been cut out or brushed to the side were people in relationships, whether it was work, whether romantic, whether family, friends. They just weren't giving what you were giving. They weren't doing what you were doing, okay? I'm seeing something rebalancing here for sure. Go spend time with friends and family. Go spend time with friends and family. I see that benefiting you even more than them. Bottom of the deck, we have, I have to hold both up, okay? We have law of attraction, but we also have joy. I think some of you are dealing with broken hearts and you're still dealing with some losses, and so you're not coming into the year feeling as joyful as you would have liked. You're here. Make sure, one, you're manifesting this and you're still coming from that place of gratitude and you were letting the universe know what it is that you really want here, okay? But joy, that is where you have arrived. It's not a thing that's about to show up for you. It's not that joy is about to show up in the form of a thing, okay? It's a state of mind. It's the energy shift. You are in alignment with joy. You are a conduit of joy, and that's pretty major, okay? So, Gems, we're going to take a look at love now. I know some of this is going to overlap for you guys, obviously. And of course, I have my little Gemini kitten. You guys have met her, right? My little patchy girl. She's like underneath me playing with my feet while I'm trying to channel for you guys, which isn't at all challenging to do. She's so cute. She always wants to say hi to you guys now. I love it. Geminis recognizing Geminis. Playful little kitten energy. I feel like some of you are like very much in alignment with me saying playful little kitten energy. Do you have little fur babies at home, or maybe just little babies at home you're having fun with? It's so uplifting. Little babies around you, fur babies, human babies, just that playful energy. It's just something that is so necessary for Gemini at this time. Okay, so let's get a little bit of clarity here. Gemini in love, January 2020. You know, Gems, so relationships came up really strong in the first spread, okay? I think some of you sidestepped a relationship. Someone got pushed away for a minute. You probably needed that. It was probably your choice. I don't know, Gemini. I'm getting some reconciliations here. But it goes hand in hand with big change. Geminis will not reconcile with anybody stuck in the same place, okay? To win a Gemini back or to come back into Gemini's life, whether it's romantic, friends, family, you will have to see that change. It will have to be proven to you, okay? It's not necessarily somebody jumping through hoops for you, but being able to see the change in that person's individual life so that you know they have invested into something new. You need that, but for many of you, you may have partners who've been going through a significant change alongside you, Gem, and it's almost like I see like a merging of some people from the past, maybe coming back as healthier relationships, healthier friends, healthier partners, okay? The first card out, stay optimistic, and I'm channeling Law of Attraction with this again, okay? So Law of Attraction here, staying optimistic about love in general, regardless of whether you're single or you just broke up with somebody or you've been with somebody for a really long time. Regardless of where you're at, you need to, yeah, we have soulmate energy popping now, but you need to maintain that gratitude, speaking to universe through gratitude. I'm so grateful. My highest level soulmate has showed up and we are so compatible and there's so much love and trust and loyalty. We are fulfilled. It's those kinds of conversations you're going to want to have. I do see some of you needing to do this to pick yourself up because you may not be feeling optimistic, but if you can shift not just your energy, but also your thoughts and the conversations you're having with universe, which is essentially law of attraction, right? You're going to call a soulmate in. You will call the soulmate center of your reading message. I feel like some of you may be calling a soulmate back in, but even if you don't call somebody back in, there's soulmate energy regardless. Okay, following this is separation. Gemini, I know you've had a hard time. I know people stepped out of the picture. You may have closed doors on other people because there was so much going on. You couldn't handle a relationship that wasn't fully healthy for you. You made the right decision. I think some Geminis are really struggling right now. I think some of Gemini's partners are really struggling right now because I'm getting some dark night of the soul energy with separation. This isn't easy. Someone is having a really hard time in the mix, probably both partners. Gemini, I feel like someone's not telling you how difficult of a time they're having. And here's the thing. It's almost a little deceptive because if you are still in touch with somebody you've had a separation with and they're not showing you that they're hurting, they're not showing you that this has been a major loss for them, you may interpret it as though, okay, you don't care about me then, and so all the more reason to just move on with my life. So if you're cross-watching for Gemini, that's a message you don't want to miss. If you're hurting, get past the ego, have the conversation, let Gemini know. And Gemini, these messages go both ways. So if you're really suffering and you have a partner still trying to reach out and you guys have some sort of communication, but you're like, whatever, this isn't really bothering me. But really internally, you're dealing with some serious emotions. You're going to fare better by admitting that and acknowledging that if you would like any sort of a reconciliation, because I feel somebody pretending like they're okay and they're not, and the other partner just being like, oh, all right, so you're fine without me then. Why would I give this another shot? Like, of course I'm just going to move on. Someone's going to regret their partner doing that. Okay, they're going to regret the decision to not get past the ego. Yeah, so stay optimistic here. Clarify by give your relationship a chance. I think somebody will be giving a relationship a second shot here. For those of you in committed relationships and you have not separated, but you're going through a really difficult time, be careful if you take space from one another, because space will turn into a breakup right now. It just feels like, and you may have experienced that. Okay, we're just going to take some space away from each other. We're going to take a step back and we love each other and we're going to be good. But in that space, partners are seeing what's really wrong. Be careful. Be careful. But honestly, that could be a really brilliant and beautiful reflection. It may take the separation. It may take a breakup. It may take somebody finally being able to get their clarity as to their role in a relationship, what's right about it, what's wrong about it. For some of you, it's about someone being able to appreciate you more because you've separated. So for some of you, this is actually something you're going to want to consider. I do feel like if you're separated, it's already happened. But I feel like you circle back to this. Somebody wants to circle back to this, and it does feel mutual for you, Gemini. It feels mutual. So if you're not separated, keep working on your relationship, because I feel like that's what that's what January is going to bring you back to anyway, is giving your relationship another shot. I also see people around you, Gemini, like, why would you guys be broken up? Why wouldn't you be together? Why can't you give that person, like, family who really loved your partner or vice versa? I feel like someone's getting an earful of judgment, and it's not helpful. It's going to make somebody shut down when maybe they would give a relationship a chance if they weren't hearing that from people around them. So if that's the case, again, we come back to that from the first spread about being assertive. You know what it's like to be a part of your relationship. Other people can feel bad about an ending, but ultimately, if It's not their decision, okay? But this is why people don't understand why you're broken up right now from somebody. Center the reading, we are calling in a soulmate. Clarify by soulmate. This person is your soulmate. This person is a high-level soulmate. These are coming through as high-level soulmate cards, okay? If you're single, you will be calling in more than one soulmate. That is coming through very strongly. It will not just be one person. I do think for some of you, if you're single, you may attract a new soulmate, and yet someone from the past, also a soulmate, may try to come back in, okay? So you may now be choosing between two people in January, wondering if it's of the highest good to give up on someone from the past altogether so that you can move forward, because this person comes through as pretty amazing, okay? There is definitely momentum forward for those of you who are single, but I think it's going to get complicated, especially if you are newly single and you're just meeting new partners. Someone very special could come through, but I also feel like somebody very special could come back. I see you having a hard time in January deciding which way you want to go with that. You will know intuitively what is of the highest good, but I think what it's going to come down to, Gemini, if someone's going to come back in the picture, especially if you're going to choose them over somebody else that feels like a good fit for you, you have to see that they have changed their life. You have to see that they are consciously making changes, not just talking about it. If you don't see the change, the separation is going to stick, at least for now, okay? But I am seeing some fated reconciliation here. For those of you in committed relationships, all the more reason for you to stick this out, okay? Because it's all soulmate, beautiful energy. It feels fated for you to work through something. You don't necessarily have to go this route, but clarifying separation is children. I feel like two partners needed to separate to work on inner child, okay? I also see separations being very difficult for children involved, and that may be why, and that may be the catalyst behind a reconciliation, but it feels like it wouldn't just be for the children. Inner child healing, what Spirit is saying for those of you in relationships without a separation, you don't have to physically separate to work on inner child. There are ways to create separation without being in a separate physical space. I'm hearing to journal. Like separation in terms of thoughts. Like you can have your own thoughts written down that you're not sharing right now while you work through some things. It's going to give you a lot of clarity. I'm not seeing that Gemini should really be going through separations in January, at least not now, Gem. It's really like work on this. Now, for those of you single and you know you're not going to call somebody back in because that's just not what you want at all, you are being asked to step out and give love a chance. You're going to call in two people. I'm just seeing two soulmates for you, Gemini. You have your options. I also see somebody who is just such a big soulmate here. It's one single person. They are both of those cards, okay? I think for many of you, if that's the case, you already know who that person is, and there's no doubt about that. Crowning your reading is to keep an open mind. If you're single, be open to people showing up. Your soulmate, this new soulmate coming in, is probably not your type. I do think for some of you, the soulmate coming back may not be your type, but they're good for you. Keep an open mind to reconciliation. Even if right now you're like, no, that doesn't seem good for us. We ended things and this is why. And I don't know, Gemini, it's just what comes through strong. So bottom of the deck, we have trust. This is trust in your process, trust in divine timing, trust that if somebody shows back up again, they may need a little bit of your time and you should gift that to them. All right, Gemini, if you feel like you need more clarity than this, reach out to me. I'm available for private readings, for energy healing sessions. I will be back mid-month with your mid-month love reading, but in the meantime, Gems, Happy New Year. I mean, it's a little intense for you, but this is so good. This is your breath of fresh air. Even in love, you're getting this breath of fresh air, so stay positive, utilize law of attraction, and as these fated people and blessings come in, know that you've earned it. Know that this is a new year. Know that this is a new journey, and trust that, okay? Trust this new journey. Trust that there's new energy here for you. It's not a repeat of 2020. I think some of you are fearing this will be a repeat of 2019. This is not a repeat of 2019. If you're holding on to that fear, now's the time to let it go. All right, I love you all so much. I'll see you back here soon. Ciao.